What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on First Take, they're going to be talking about is Kawhi Leonard more clutch than Kobe Bryant. So let's see what they have to say about that.
When they say in late and close games, Kobe Bryant shot inefficiently, his team got less efficient, those numbers are records of events that occurred. We could go back and watch the video and you will see they all occurred. Kawhi Leonard, under pressure, ain't missing. He's already been a Finals MVP, and that was before he was in his prime. A former Finals MVP before he entered his prime is shooting 60 in the playoffs. The best offensive player, including KD, who's also in his prime, but Kawhi's not playing with Steph and Clay. So under pressure, yes, Kawhi is better than Kobe was.
All right, that was Max with the hot take on May 7th, touting Kawhi as a better clutch player than Kobe. I know your inbox had to be blowing up after that one. Since then, Kawhi and the Raptors rallied from 14 points in Game 5 and 15 points in Game 6 to clinch the series and send Toronto to its first NBA Finals in franchise history. According to Elias, Leonard is the fourth player to lead his team in scoring and reach the Finals in his first season with the team in the last 30 years, joining LeBron James, Jason Kidd, and Charles Barkley. Max, has Kawhi proven that he is indeed a better closer than Kobe?
No, you already proved it, but...
So I'm going to get back to what Max just said. So maybe Kobe Bryant is not as an efficient shooter as Kawhi Leonard, especially towards his latter years. So that's because I think Kobe Bryant was the only superstar on his team. He's the only star on his team. And you know Kobe Bryant's the type to be a perfectionist. He's a ball hog. He wants to do it all himself. So with him being the only star on his team, of course, he's going to want to take all the shots. Whether the shots are good or bad, he's going to do whatever it takes. And obviously, he did it enough times that he could win 2 rings without Shaq, pretty much with nothing on his team. With Paul Gasol, with Andrew Bynum, Lamar Odom, I think was there, and what Metta World Peace. So, you know, if that's what has to be done, Kobe had to take all those shots in order to win 2 rings without Shaq. That's fine. That's fine. But can Kawhi do it? Because I haven't seen it yet. Because last time Kawhi won, he was stacked he was a stacked Spurs team. What, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, a couple guys. So let's keep going.
Sure, he's giving more evidence. I mean, this is who he is. By the way, I want to read you a stat from Bleacher Report. This is from Game 3 of this last series, because people think about offense and think clutch offense. What about defense? Like, one of LeBron's greatest defensive plays or clutch plays was a block, right? Iguodala to a block. Kawhi, defensively, on Giannis in Game 3 of this last series, on Antetokounmpo, an unstoppable physical phenomenon, in 41 possessions in a game. That's guarding him constantly. Giannis had 4 points on 2 for 12 shooting, 0 for 3 from 3, 1 assist and 2 turnovers. So first we have to understand, Kawhi draws the most difficult, most unstoppable assignment and does a better job than anyone who ever lived could possibly do, and at least as good. Like, when you talk about great defenders, you talk about like Dennis Rodman or Scottie Pippen or Bill Russell or Kawhi Leonard. He's in the all-time greatest discussion, and he's tasked with stopping the unstoppable. Ask LeBron James, your guy, coach. And of course, LeBron was still the MVP of every series. Of course, I get it. But back then, when Kawhi would check in, he's like, oh, here we go. That was key to the Spurs winning. Look, Kobe Bryant, I know why people think he's so clutch in the end. First of all, totally fearless. Secondly, he could take a shot that a normal guy hits 5 or 10% of the time. He could hit it 30% of the time. So you can guard Kobe perfectly, and still, like, too often it's like, damn, he hit that shot. Kawhi doesn't do that. What Kawhi does is go find himself a very high percentage shot. And by the way, he's doubled. He's doubled just like Kobe was, and he's trapped just as Kobe was, but he just finds himself a higher percentage shot. So he hits them more of the time. I want to show you the side-by-side comparison. This is in the play. By the way, and I love Jay Williams asked me, what's the big iconic moment for Kawhi? In this playoff series alone, he has so many, you stop counting. Against the Sixers, against the Bucks. Look at this. This is for their careers in the playoffs. Higher field goal percentage, by far, Kawhi. Plus minus, by far, Kawhi. PER is Kawhi, and that's just offensive efficiency. Win shares per 48, by far, Kawhi, because Kobe could be a great defender when he chose to be. Kawhi is always among the greatest defenders of all time. This dude is one of the all-time clutch performers. And when you compare Kawhi at this point in his career to Kobe at this point in his career, Kawhi's been better.
So I don't want to take anything away from Kawhi Leonard because he's a baller, and I hate playing Kobe Bryant against Kawhi Leonard, but I'd always go with Kobe Bryant because he's been proven to be able to get the job done at least 5 times. Now, Kawhi, he hasn't necessarily been able to seal the deal. Well, where's Kawhi been this whole time, though? Where's he been this whole time? Because like I said, Kobe Bryant won 2 championships pretty much by himself. He's been the only front runner on his team. Now, Kawhi's been pretty much the only front runner on his team this year. So if he can win a ring this year, I can say, okay, we're making some progress towards being like Kobe and being the all-time clutch player. But until Kawhi Leonard wins a championship, if not 2 by himself, then I can't say that he's clutch like Kobe Bryant. So this is the perfect setup for him. This is the perfect setup to prove what type of player Kawhi Leonard is and if he can do it by himself, like Kobe Bryant did. But until he does that, I can't put him above Kobe Bryant. And like I said about Kobe Bryant, his shooting percentage and all that, Kobe Bryant was the only front runner for his team, so he's taking shots all over the place. All over the place. Now, I know Kawhi, he may shoot more higher percentage shots or have a better a percentage of shooting, but that's just the way it works. That's just the way it works. If he can have a higher shooter percentage, then that means he better be winning and he better get his championships by himself, just like what Kobe did. But until then, I can't put Kawhi up there. And Kawhi is a defensive monster. He's a defensive monster. But who is he going to guard, though, for Golden State? Who is he going to guard and shut down? And they're going to defer the ball to Clay, maybe a Draymond. If Kevin Durant gets back, the ball is just going to be tossed around. So Kawhi can't guard everybody. So that's going to be a problem. But let's keep going.
In the clutch. In the clutch.
Hold on for a second. First of all, I was not aware that we were going to have this discussion because had I been aware, I would have left and I would have went and got some tea and let Max talk to Damon Jones. I would have had nothing to do with this conversation. I'm not trying to even entertain this. When you consider Kawhi Leonard just became relevant offensively 3 years ago. He just became relevant offensively 3 years ago, 2015 to be exact, when he really became a number 1 option and he wasn't playing with Tim Duncan and those boys anymore, or Tim Duncan had faded. 2015. That's number 1. Number 2, we don't take into account. You keep mentioning all defensive team. Max Kellerman, Kobe Bryant is tied with guys like the Glove, Gary Payton, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. This guy was a 9-time All-NBA first-team defensive player. That was Kobe Bryant. We keep forgetting that.
Kobe
9
Bryant's
times.
not in Kawhi's class
90 times.
Yeah, but his defense is up there with Kawhi, but it's enough that Kobe Bryant can take care of business and get 2 rings without Shaq. So Kawhi may be a better defender, but Kobe Bryant's defense is good enough to make those 9 NBA all-defensive teams, and it's good enough to get rings and to do things by himself. Again, now I haven't seen Kawhi do that, but this is the perfect time. This is the time they're going to talk about for years if you want to claim that Kawhi Leonard is a clutch. More clutch than Kobe Bryant. This is the time. This is the time. He's on the Toronto Raptors. He's by himself pretty much. He's the only superstar. Can he win? Can he beat the Golden State Warriors? Because if he does, then we'll start making some progress towards Kawhi being as clutch as Kobe Bryant. But until then, I can't see it. I can't see it at all. But like I said, he's a better defender than Kobe. I'll give him that. I'll definitely give him that. But as far as everything else, I don't see it. And as far as, you want to keep bringing up Kawhi Leonard being the MVP, the Finals MVP when he was with the Spurs, well, because he beat up LeBron James basically. Well, you can say the same thing about Iguodala because Iguodala won Finals MVP off of beating up LeBron James. So is there some type of comparison there between Kawhi Leonard and Iguodala because they both got MVPs off of beating up LeBron James. So that's not really a talking point. So I don't know. But whatever it is, this is going to be Kawhi Leonard's chance to show everybody that he's clutch. He can do it by himself like Kobe, and that'll give him all the more closer to being on the level of Kobe or MJ. So let's keep going.
Excuse me, you can say whatever you want. The game is different in this day and age. The game is different in this day and age. You can take all of that into consideration. Kobe Bryant was an elite defender in his prime. Number 3, I'll let you speak. I ain't say a word. I'll let you speak that drivel. The fact of the matter is you got Kobe Bryant in the league for 20 years. Come to me, Kawhi Leonard is a baby. And in today's day and age where people could get called for a foul for passing gas or having bad breath for crying out loud, don't talk to me about Kawhi Leonard and what he could do in comparison. As great as I know he is, don't talk to me about him in comparison to the greatness we've seen from Kobe Bryant. And oh, by the way, you ever think about those clutch moments that you're talking about? One of the reasons why you can't point to Kobe, or you choose not to point to Kobe, is because of so many times that Kobe didn't let it get to that point because he was a killer. And when he sensed blood, he took you out before there was a closing moment to take into consideration. When you see Kawhi Leonard against Philadelphia, when you see Kawhi Leonard against Milwaukee, and he had an opportunity to put his foot on their throat, but they were still in the game until a last shot here or there, whatever the case. Kobe took people's hearts. So I'm not going to have this discussion.
Better than
you
Kobe.
can believe what you...
And Max trying to be smart and talk about, oh, that wasn't Shaq. Well, Shaq won 3 rings with Kobe. Yes, that is true. But what about the 2 other rings that Kobe won without Shaq there, Max? What about those 2 rings? You don't want to bring those up, though, right? You like to cherry pick all these things, especially like with the Golden State Warriors. You like to talk about how they got beat in the finals 3 years ago by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why don't you stay with something that's relevant? Something that's up to date. Like Kobe Bryant won 2 rings without Shaq. Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up. So it's because Kobe's redeemed himself. The Black Mamba has redeemed himself. 2 rings without Shaq. So let's keep going.
You can give me PER with all your analytics buddies all you want to. I'm not trying to hear all of that. Take it away, Damon. Take it away, because I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm not going to be a part of this blasphemous conversation. I'm just not going to do it.
Stephen A., I was ready to walk out when he started his whole thing about, Kawhi being more clutch than Kobe Bryant. Kawhi Leonard is doing some great things. I get it. I mean, and he's ascending, all right? He's the 3rd best player in the league behind LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Okay. But what Kobe did over the course of his career, like when you saw Kobe Bryant on the floor, you were scared to death if you were the other team's perimeter players, because you knew this guy defensively, he was going to take the challenge, okay, on your best scorer, and then offensively, he was relentless at scoring the basketball, getting to the free throw line, shooting the jump shot when needed to. And I just think that Kobe Bryant is more clutch.
Kobe Bryant